Hey guys, I got a bone to pick with you folks. We remember that Family Feud, don't we? It happened sometime last year. Well, I haven't forgotten, and I felt robbed. My teammates, we were whining about it for a long time, so I'm back here for a revenge, payback, call it what it is. I'm going to come to your turf and play your game.
You were just more crap than us.
We shall see. We shall see.
All I know is we won.
Yeah, that's what they all say, right? I've heard that one before, but which is why I want a rematch. And no, it's not Family Feud. Tell me your game. I'll play your game.
Go on then. Game on.
So we're gonna play Defend the Indefensible, where I'm going to give you statements, and you have to defend them no matter how much you don't agree with them. And the best defense for each statement wins the point.
Yes.
Now I'm having second thoughts about this. Maybe I shouldn't have worded it so strongly. Maybe come in a little subtle and, say, hey guys, just want to play a game. I'm going to play a nice little game show. Guess that's not happening. Well, it is what it is. Let's go. I'm super nervous. If you can't already tell, I'm really nervous.
Oh no, there's no reason to be nervous.
Anyone watching, this is not a stitch up. This is not contrived. We genuinely don't know the questions, do we?
I know nothing.
Whenever a host says there's no need to be nervous in a calm voice, that's never good. That's never a good sign.
Let's go.
Right. Statement number 1. The customer is always right.
Who's going for it?
Go on, we'll let Frank go first.
All right. Beautiful. This is just peachy. All right, so this is not too hard to defend. The customer is always right because, for me, they're the people with the money. They decide on the specifications. They decide on the design. So when they come in and have a statement, no matter how outrageous it is, as a service provider, as a provider of solutions, as a creator of equipment, they kind of decide your future. So I think money talks, and we listen to the customer and do what we have to do for them.
Who's next?
I'll do next. God, I'll go. The problem is I don't know how to really follow that because it's exactly the same. Who pays your wages at the end of the day? Where do you get your money? For a lot of us, we're manufacturers, we're resellers. They're the ones paying it. They don't like it, they don't like it. You've got to fix what they say. What they say is right. They could ask you for a purple dinosaur on a telly that makes it the best telly in the world. They want it, they're paying for it. They're right, it's the best.
Let me tell you why the customer's always right. Going third, oh my God. The customer's always right because salespeople fail to tell the customer exactly what they're going to do. So the customer's always right. No, I didn't want that screen 120 centimetres off the floor. I wanted it 150 centimetres off the floor. Is your crystal ball broken? I'm right. You're wrong. I'm the customer. As you guys have already said, I paid the bill. Done.
I don't know if that was a defense, but that was a good one. That was really good.
I think there's a lot of reality with that one, though. That's the scary bit.
I think I'm going to give the point to Frank on that one.
Oh, thank you.
Come on.
That's
Hey,
good.
you did give the exact same answer as Frank, so you can't expect a point for that.
Well, surely then it's half a point. If it was exactly the same, it's half a point each.
Oh, that's funny.
Need to be more like rugby and stop arguing with the ref.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mum.
Right. Statement number 2. Kev goes for on this one, and then Frank. AV is not IT.
Can we please not have Francis done this?
I was set up. This is a setup.
All right. So for me, it's easy. AV is not IT. Just because it uses technology, it doesn't put it under the same banner as IT. AV is for what people see. It's the end result. It's that beauty. It's that wow. It's that lovely display or whatever on the end of it. AV may be a technology subset, but it is its own thing in its own right. It's independent in its own right.
Who's next, Amy? I forgot already.
You're next, Jace.
AV is not IT. I'm going to quote my friend Mark Coxon. IT moves zeros and ones. AV moves hearts and minds. AV is not IT.
He's going straight in for the kill, isn't he, with his quotes?
I know. Look at that. Look at that. Name dropping already. All right. AV is not IT, and I have years of experience reading so much about this, so I'm going to paraphrase a lot of the quotes and everything that I've said. By bringing AV down into a technology blanket like IT, we stifle our creativity through the use of standards, through the use of a lot of things that makes the IT industry what it is today. Keeping AV separate gives the opportunity for our creatives to come out and do those cool, amazing experiential solutions that we see every day. If they were down to a standard, we would be arguing with the end user that that display is not supposed to be this display because that's not what the standard says. AV, however, has the ability to think out of the box. So AV is not IT.
Oh, mate, that was beautiful.
He was struggling
by the
there,
way, before you score this, can we not just take that recording out and post it?
Yeah.
Oh,
No
that
explanation.
no context, just that. Right, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that was terrible. I'm crying.
That's the best question I've ever had.
I actually don't know who to give it to with this one. I think I'm gonna have to give it to Frank again. I didn't really get what you said, Jason.
Oh, this is so good. Well, I am a man with a mission, so I'm good.
Anything for the point.
Anything for the. Oh, I feel terrible. It is true though. Let me say this. I will. My AV's IT is a argument that I stay away from nowadays. One of the reasons is because if you are so held up on your perspective of it, I don't want to be the guy who comes in and argues with you. I would rather still use your skill set as an IT professional, as a technology provider, because there's no point in arguing where we stand. It's about working together to come back to the first point, which I do agree with. The customer's always right. So,
see, the mad thing is with that is, for me, AV and IT, if you think about it, information delivered using technology.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all the same thing, but you're different. You stay away with it because you don't want to kind of stifle it. I keep going for it because the people that are diehard in any camp, it's funny to wind them up.
That's true. This is true.
Mark Coxon will be disappointed he didn't win.
Yep. No, I agree. It's like I firmly believe AV is a technology provider solution. AV is an information technology, but the way we sometimes interpret it and we present it is a challenge, right? It's technology. Let's put it at that.
Who knew, Kev? We're getting battered here.
Yeah.
How many questions are left? Can we actually win this now?
Yeah, you can. We have a few more.
Go on then.
Right, Jace, you're first on this one. End users should be allowed to purchase AV equipment directly from manufacturers.
Oh.
Well, if you're Microsoft and neat, you already are, right? So why not let everyone else join the fun and, you know, buy some Crestron from Crestron, buy some, I don't know, Polly from the Polly shop. What do we know about any of this? It's already happening. So look at Owl. You know, Owl in the UK, they're selling direct. Their go-to-market's Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody loves us anymore. I'm feeling really unloved. Frank's joined a manufacturer now just to leave us all behind. That's it, I'm done.
Ouch.
Who's next?
Am
I? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Before I start my answer, I'm going to do a typical Bradford Ben type disclaimer. My views do not reflect those of my employer. I gotta say it with Bradford and get this wording down right. But the point is, this is my take on it. I don't see harm in a manufacturer selling directly to an end user, as long as the manufacturer has a process of pre-qualifying the end user and ensuring that the quality of the intent of their solution is sustained. A lot of manufacturers do that very successfully. There's no harm in doing that if the end user has the ability to handle it by himself. Adding a couple of layers in between adds to the cost, adds to the time, adds to the challenge. I honestly don't think there's a need for that. There's nothing wrong with manufacturers selling directly. But again, it's a challenging road. But yes, that's my defense.
Right. Okay, man. Easy. I'm spending the money. It's my choice. So if I'm going to a supermarket, so I go to a supermarket and decided I'm making a lasagna tonight. I buy all the ingredients. I'm allowed to go home then and put it all together and make a lasagna. I should be able to go and buy my own display, my own camera, my own setup, and put it together myself. If I screw it up, I screw it up. My money, my choice. People should be able to do what they want.
Goes back to customerism is right?
That hurts.
That's a good reason. Solid reason right there.
I'm going to go with Jace for this one, for the sympathy point, because he's feeling unloved.
Terrible.
Next statement. Sales engineers are more effective than account managers.
Who's going first?
I think it's me, right?
Yeah, Frank.
Sales engineers are more effective than account managers because a sales engineer, by definition, is the expert in the solution or the set of products that they're trying to put in front of the customer. Account managers, while they're great at maintaining relationships, the relationship has already got you the opportunity to present a solution. From that point on, it is critical that you're able to come up with the design and the solution that the customer, who I think the theme of the day is who's paying for it, what they want. And I think a sales engineer is in that role precisely to interpret what those needs are, put it onto paper, and give it to them. Now, the added point of defense in this is that if an account manager is the one doing that part of the job, technically in the process, he's also a sales engineer. He's engineering the solution for you. So you can't say he's not. So sales engineer is the best at giving that solution. It's just that it could be anyone. It could be the account manager or the sales engineer. I just think it's the sales engineer.
Okay, Kev.
Can I win this just with a gesture? Me. Shove your account managers up your ass. We're the ones that walk into that room when there is a requirement to understand that end-to-end solution. We're the ones that give the credibility. We are the ones there that can answer all the questions down to that nitty-gritty to make that customer feel absolutely happy to sign on that dotted line. Relationships, as Frank alluded to, very important. I understand that. How many times is your relationship going to prove that that solution does exactly what that customer wants to give them exactly what they need for the money they're about to spend? I go back to my first point.
Sales engineer is more effective than the AM. One word. Trust.
Kev.
Trust and the business card. If your business card says sales and the buyer is a technologist, they don't trust you. If your business card says technology, anything, engineer, technologist, architect, the buyer's going to trust you. So if the buyer's a technologist, the sales engineer is more important. I've done both roles. Don't forget that.
So simplified, that was Kev. Come on, Ames, send me the point.
Even the camera did a little.
Come on, Ames, send the point.
Go on then, Kev. You can have the point on that one.
The blue legs and all.
You got to take some points off for those legs, man.
What are you trying to say? Beautiful.
His legs are the same colour as his white shoes.
They really are.
I
don't have a sun tan. I have more of a moon tan.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. AV as a service is not the present or the future.
Could you repeat that?
AV as a service is not the present or the future.
Ooh. Who's going?
I think it's Kev.
I think you are.
You first on this one? Yeah.
Okay, so it's not the past, present, or future because no one understands what the balls it is. Tell me what AV as a service is. Nobody knows. Quoting Joe with his rant when we what needs to go into room 101. Is it a lease that's not a lease? But you think it's a lease, but it's really not a lease, but you're charging me like a lease? Nobody knows what it is to this day. Is it feet on the street? Is it some time in the room? Is it just renting equipment? Nobody knows. It can't be defined. It can't be anything.
All right, Jay's next.
He needs to judge. Oh, shit. Right. AV as a service is just marketing talk.
You've lost the point.
AV as a service is just marketing. That's it. It's a managed service. You called it a managed service 2 years ago. Some marketing bellend came out of marketing school, said, I'm going to give this a name and a brochure, and boom, I've invented something new. No, you didn't. What am I going to do? Get a round plank of wood, make it round, and I've reinvented the wheel? What's to that? No. AV as a service is just marketing tosh.
Shit.
Follow that, Frank.
My turn. That was intense. I don't know how to run with this. AV as a service is not the present or the future, because I'm going to allude to the reason why I spoke about it when I said AV is not IT. There's far too much creativity involved to, once again, stifle AV into a couple of line items and to set a definition to it. We're not able to define AV as a service. We've tried for years. And a lot of times it hasn't been successful because we're not able to set those definitions or parameters required to make it a service. Part of the service process is to say, if it's successful, you need metrics, you need KPIs. You want to make sure whatever you've provided is reaching those expectations. And as long as it is a creative process, it's going to be challenging. It's like saying, I'm going to give you a painting for whatever you want. I mean, you ask me to paint something, I'm going to paint it. It's subjective. Every person walking into and looking at that painting has a different opinion on it. So you can't really make that into a service and define it as long as there's so much creativity involved. And that's the challenge with making an AV design into a predefined service that's seen on the managed services side of the business.
Okay, I think for this one, no, I think I'm going to give it to Jace because I know all about marketing bullshit.
Honest to God.
That means we have a tie.
Why did we paint by numbers?
Yeah, we have a tie between Frank and Jace.
Oh boy.
Is it a tie?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Do
a
we need a
tie.
tiebreaker?
I can give you a tiebreaker. Frank, do you know anything about English football? Well, soccer.
I used to follow it probably a decade and a half ago, but I haven't. You know what?
If you ask me the question, I think the rest.
This is going to be crazy.
You're right.
I knew.
Good.
I'm sorry.
All you've got one sentence to tell me why Liverpool FC is the biggest football club in England.
I'm glad I'm out.
Liverpool is the biggest football club in the Premier League because they have an amazing depth of quality players. They have an amazing coaching system. They always make the right decisions. And although sometimes the results don't speak for it, they are an amazing team. Oh, that's not right at all.
Right, okay, Jace.
I'm not going to sell my soul out here. Aston Villa are the founder members of the Football League. Liverpool.
You want to give a statement to come into second place?
I'm not doing it.
Honestly, that deserves massive applause. I'd give Jace the point on principle.
No, Frank is the winner.
Yes. Of all the things I could have won in a tiebreaker, talking about Liverpool. I don't know if my answer is going to be hated, but I loved Manchester United when I was following them, so I don't know if that helps.
There's the man.
I'm a huge Man U fan.
Now you deserve the win. Just
Yeah, I think I'm going to take that point away now, and none of you win.
oh my God, I'm not sure I could have answered that question.
Right, Frank, you did it. You got your revenge, mate. One thing I want to know before we went, because it was
thank you, Liverpool.
because it was a follow-up to Family Feud. Which question did Nancy set?
I gotta know.
The sales engineers one, the end users one, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Good question. They were good. Really
Thank
good.
you, Nancy.
Really
Thank
good.
you, Ifat.
Really good. Thank you for all the questions, and Amy, thank you for being an amazing host. It's, I like this, and I think you should have more guests on and make this a regular thing, because it takes you out of your comfort zone and your perspectives and gets you to talk about things that you normally would not support. So that's a good thing. I think it's a very good thing.
But Villa beat Liverpool 7-2 in a historic.
That's all old news already.
Lord.
I won. That's done. You don't want to.
Unbelievable. Right, well, thank you very much.
Thank
Frank,
you.
joining
Thank
us.
you. Thank you, guys.
I'm
This is
going to now
awesome.
say I was robbed because I definitely deserve to win. Although I'm with Jace, I wouldn't have answered that last question. But thank you all. See you next
very
time.
much. Thank
Bye.
you. Absolutely. Peace out, guys.